Let's look now at some examples of firms, types of firms that practice price discrimination and how they do it. So one good example of a type of firm that practices price discrimination is a movie theater. What are some of the ways movie theaters practice price discrimination? They do it actually in more than one way. One is the time of the show. So matinee prices are less than evening shows because those lower prices attract consumers who have more elastic demand. They're more price sensitive. You may not have gone to see the movie if it costs a lot, but hey, if you can go at 11 o'clock and see something for a lower price, maybe you will, right? So it attracts those who are able to come during the day and who wouldn't have come for a higher price. But then you have a pretty low variable cost as a firm to being open during the day. You don't have to hire a whole bunch of extra help. So it doesn't cost you a whole lot to provide that service, but you can do it and attract a few more customers than you would have with only your evening higher price shows. And this works because people will reveal to you which group they're in, whether they have high elasticity or low elasticity by what time of day they show up for the show, right? And then if you put timestamps on your tickets, they're not resellable. Another thing that movie theaters do sometimes to price discriminate is they discriminate based on age or student status. So you may get some age discounts or a student discount that maybe can be explained by an income, right? Can the income explain the pattern of discounts? Possibly. So movie attendance usually is highest for 13 to 24-year-olds and then declines with age. So you give a discount to those who are older adults just to get them in the door, right? Because they're not coming as the cool hangout spot with the younger, the teens, right? Child discounts usually stop at 12. Senior discounts start around 50. And student discounts, those are where you see the income thing mattering, right? So a college student may not have the money to go to a bunch of movies, even though they might want to. So you offer a student discount to get them in the door, get them to come to those movies that they'd like to see. Another thing movie theaters do to price discriminate that you may not really think of as price discrimination is concessions pricing. So concessions pricing, if you've been to the movies much at all, you know that snacks and drinks at a movie theater are ridiculously expensive, right? Why is that? Because the price inelastic customers are going to eat the theater snacks. They're going to pay the high price because you want a snack with your movie and you're willing to pay for it, right? The elastic customers just won't eat the food, or either they'll smuggle in their own food, right? Which customers does the theater want? A lot of younger folks, a lot of college students may brag about the fact that they smuggle in their own food. They make it past the ticket counter with all those snacks in their jacket or in their purse. Why do you think movie theaters are not all that picky, not all that strict about searching to see whether you're smuggling in your own food? The answer is because they want you in a seat, right? They're willing to let you smuggle in your own food if you're that price elastic consumer, because that's in a sense your discount. You didn't pay the high price for movie theater snacks. They'll let you smuggle in your own food as long as you're paying for a movie, because it wants you in the seat to watch the movie. Empty seats are lost revenue. They're playing the movie. They're paying to play the movie. They would like to be able to sell the seats for people to watch the movie. So even if you smuggle in your own food, they want you in there, right? That's in a sense price discrimination. They don't check to see if you're smuggling in your own food. They let you come in, and that's sort of your discount that gets you in the door, right? So movie theaters are really good at price discrimination, and other folks who are good at price discrimination are college campuses, right? So in terms of tuition, sometimes federal aid will lower tuition costs for certain students. In-state students pay less than out-of-state students. Why is that? The idea here is that an in-state student may just be going because it's the convenient place to go, or because it's close by, that they may have a job that they're trying to keep. An out-of-state student who is looking at a school is usually looking at it for a very specific reason, and it's usually because they really want to go to that school, not just, I'd like to go to college, let me go to the easiest one to go to, right? If you're looking at a college that's out of state, it usually means you have a specific reason to want to go there, which would imply that you have a more inelastic demand about going to that college. You're willing to pay a good bit more to go there because there's a specific reason you want to go there. It's not just the college around the corner, right? And so we can charge higher prices to out-of-state students because the assumption is that they have higher inelasticity of demand or lower elasticity of demand. They're willing to pay more. And then there are other colleges, private colleges with even higher stickers, which they then often offer lots of discounts or scholarships to get people in the door for those, right? Speaking of college discounts, also other firms near colleges often offer student discounts, local bars, restaurants, shops, etc. Why? Because students often have lower incomes, and so they're more price sensitive, more elastic demand. And so if you can offer a little bit of a discount, you can get those students in the door who otherwise wouldn't even shop in your establishment because they couldn't necessarily afford much of what's in there. So these are some examples that we encounter often of price discrimination, and one that we've talked about in previous videos is also airlines, and they discriminate based on when you buy your ticket. They can tell how elastic or inelastic your demand likely is for their product. Here are some other examples for you to think about. Pause the video on each of these and think about whether or not this is price discrimination. So at Little Nero's Pizza, the menu lists the following prices. Cheese pizza is $8, supreme pizza is $11. Is that price discrimination? The answer is no, it's not, because the price differences are because they're different products, and they're probably different cost of production, right? How about this one? Lee buys an economy class airline ticket for $100. Dirk buys a first class ticket for $200. Price discrimination? No, it's not. They are different products. It probably costs the airline more money to provide a first class experience, right? They get more food, different types of food, alcohol, those sorts of things. Not price discrimination. How about this one, though? Lee and Dirk both buy economy class tickets on the same flight. Lee pays $83 less than Dirk because he booked 2 weeks earlier. This one is price discrimination. They're both economy class, same flight, going the same place, getting the same product. They pay different prices because of the time that they bought their tickets. Jamie gets her oil changed at Cars and Stuff for $30. Katie gets her oil changed at Automotives Incorporated for $25. Price discrimination? No, it's not. Each of them got an oil change, but they went to 2 different places, which means it's likely that there's maybe a quality difference and maybe a cost of provision of service difference between the 2 different places. And so the fact that they're charged different prices is not price discrimination. That's just 2 different firms offering the product. Joe and Sheila each buy tickets to the ballet. They sit together. Joe paid $5 less than Sheila did because of a student discount. Is this price discrimination? Yes, this is classic price discrimination. This is a student discount. They get exactly the same product. They're sitting next to each other, right? So they see the same view of the same show, but Joe pays less because he's a student. Price discrimination, yes. Lincoln, Nebraska, gas price is $3.49. Austin, Texas, gas price is $3.79. Is this price discrimination? No, it is not. These are different locations. It may cost different amounts to get the gasoline to the different locations, to Nebraska versus Texas. 2 different firms selling the product. Bart and Lisa go to a club. Bart has to pay a cover charge for entry, but Lisa gets in for free due to a ladies' night special. Price discrimination? Indeed it is. Same product, same club, same evening. The lady gets in cheaper. Price discrimination. And lastly, Mark and Joanne each buy a box of cereal at the local grocery store. Joanne gets a $1 discount by using a coupon. Is this price discrimination? Yes, it is. Coupons are a really good way of figuring out how elastic a customer's demand is, because if you are willing to do all the work to clip coupons, keep track of them, and use them, you probably have pretty elastic demand, right? You really wanted that discount. And so a coupon is a really good way of getting customers to identify themselves as having high elastic demand. And they get a discount on exactly the same product because they were willing to do the work of clipping coupons.